Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're on the globe. This is Iniya Pragati here. Today I'll be sharing my research which focuses on sustainable hydroponic farming for long duration space missions and understanding how different plant species can adapt and grow in extreme environments. Specifically, this study conducts a comparative analysis of the plants evaluating their growth performance, resilience, and resource efficiency. Before I start, I would like to thank Agara and the whole team for making these missions possible. On the Crew 87, the biosignal time, I was serving as the crew astrobiologist, and on the Crew 88, the mission possible, I was serving as the crew communication officer. Choosing the right plants to grow in space. When designing plant systems for space mission, the first and the most crucial step is selecting the right crops. Plants in space are not just about nutrient, they are a part of carefully balanced life support system. The crops we choose must work efficiently within the limited space, resources, and environmental control, while also contributing to oxygen, food, and humidity regulation. Because gravity is absent and fluids like water and nutrients don't behave normally, they don't flow downward but they instead cling to surfaces or form floating spheres. This means the plants must be adaptable to microgravity and limited water flow, able to thrive even when the conditions differ completely. Another key consideration is growth rate. For long duration missions, we prefer crops with short growth cycles that allow for frequent harvests, ensuring a steady supply of fresh produce for the crew. We also look for plants with a high harvest index, meaning a large portion of plants is eatable and less is wasted. This maximizes the efficiency and reduces the burden of handling the inedible biomasses. Finally, plants must be resilient, capable of withstanding variations in light, humidity, CO2 levels, and radiation exposure that naturally occur in space. Only robust species can maintain the stable growth under these unpredictable conditions. In essence, the best plants for space are compact, fast growing, efficient, and durable. They are more than food sources. They are living components of a self sustaining ecosystem, helping to keep astronauts healthy and the space habitat balanced for the long term. And here's a short clip from the Martian movie. Lighting. Light is one of the most powerful environmental factors influencing the plant growth and development. It doesn't just provide energy for photosynthesis, it also affects the plant size, nutrient content, microbial balance, and even flavor. Different wavelengths of light serve different purposes. Red and blue light are the most important drivers of the photosynthesis. The red light around 660 nanometers promotes the flowering and fruit production, while the blue light near 450 nanometers stimulates the strong leaf and stem growth. Together, they form the foundation for healthy and productive plants. Green light, which roughly falls between 520 to 550 nanometers, doesn't contribute as much to the photosynthesis, but it plays an important visual role. It allows us to better observe the plant's health gives the plant a natural color that helps with true well-being in an enclosed environment. The ideal light range for the plant growth is between 400 to 700 nanometers, also known as photosynthetically active radiation or PAR range. This is the spectrum that plants can effectively use to convert the light energy into the chemical energy. On Earth, we naturally receive this balance from the sunlight, but in controlled environments like space, this balance has to be recreated using the artificial light sources. By adjusting the mix and intensity of these wavelengths, we can fine tune the plant growth, maximize the energy efficiency, and also ensures that the crops grown away from Earth remain just as healthy and nutritious as those are grown under the natural sunlight. When it comes to growing plants in space, lighting becomes one of the most carefully engineered systems, as I said before. On the, on the International Space Station, the ISS, LED-based plant habitats like Veggie and Advanced Plant Habitat APH provides plants a controlled light spectrum that supports every stage of growth while minimizing the power use. These LEDs are not just about brightness, they're about a specific wavelengths tuned to meet the biological needs of the plants. Red light, at around 660 nanometers, is the primary driver of the photosynthesis and flowering. What helps produce the energy and transition into the reproductive stages. And the blue light promotes the leaf expansion, stem strength, and chlorophyll formation. It also ensures that the plants receive compact, sturdy, and nutrient rich, which are essential traits for the space grown crops. Green light is included to maintain the visual balance to support deeper light penetration within the canopy, helping lower leaves receive the energy. The far red light, which is around 730 nanometers, plays a role in regulating the flowering and plant height, allowing us to control the plant structure even in microgravity. The typical lighting ratio used is about 80% of red, 10% of blue, and 30% of green or far red, a spectrum carefully optimized for both efficiency and biological performance. This system gives us the flexibility to adjust the spectrum and intensity depending on the plant type and the growth phases, and also ensuring that the crops grown hundreds of kilometers above the earth can thrive just as they do on the ground. And here's a short video, but it doesn't contain any audio. Water management. In space, water is one of the most valuable resources. Every drop must be carefully conserved, recycled, and reused. This makes efficient water management essential for both plants and crew survival. On Earth, gravity naturally guides water through the soil and helps roots absorb what they need. But in microgravity, water, water behaves very differently. Instead of flowing downward, it tends to flow around, cling to surfaces, or form spheres. This makes watering plants in space a serious engineering challenge. To address this, systems are designed to deliver water and nutrients with a precision Instead of traditional soil, plants are often grown in controlled root environments where nutrition rich solutions are carefully released to maintain the balance. And one of the biggest challenges is maintaining even water distribution around the roots. Too little and the plant dries out, and too much and the roots get suffocated. And ensuring the right air and water balance is vital because we need oxygen as much as they need water. And to help achieve this, engineers use porous substrates or fine misting systems that distribute moisture evenly while allowing oxygen to circulate. Modern growth chamber also includes sensors and feedback controls that constantly monitor the humidity, root zone moisture, and also nutrient concentrations. These systems automatically adjust the conditions in real time to keep plants in their ideal range for growth and health. Overall, water management in space isn't just about growing plants. It's about recreating a closed loop system that supports sustainable living, balancing water, air, and nutrients in the perfectly controlled environment. And these are some of the picture of APH. Fresh food. When we think about food in space, we often imagine packed meals, convenient and compact. But on long duration missions, relying on stored food simply cannot sustain. Over time, packed meals lose taste, texture, and nutrient content, especially vitamins like C and K. This can impact not just physical health, but also the mental well being of astronauts. That's why fresh food becomes a vital part of life support. It's not a luxury, but it's a necessity. Freshly grown plants provide essential vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that can fully preserve in that cannot be fully preserved in the pre-packed meals, but they help maintain the bone health, muscle health, and immunity, all of which are critical during the long stays in microgravity or on planetary surfaces. But the benefits go beyond nutrients. Tending to living plants offers powerful psychological supports. Caring for plants, watching them grow, and finally harvesting them gives the astronauts a sense of connection, purpose, and comfort, something deeply human in otherwise mechanical environments. The presence of green life, and the act of eating something fresh, like crisp lettuce or a small tomato which is growing in orbit, helps reduce stress, improve mood, and strengthen the emotional resilience during the isolation. It's a reminder of Earth, familiar, grounding, and uplifting. So, when we talk about growing plants in space, we are not just addressing the food security, we are addressing the human well being in every sense. On long duration missions, maintaining the food diversity is just as important as maintaining the food supply. Eating the same meals repeatedly may seem manageable at first, but over time, it can lead to meal fatigue, where astronauts lose interest in eating altogether. That's a serious issue because reduced appetite can directly affect the energy levels, focus, and overall health. A diverse food system helps prevent the diet monotony and ensures a broader range of nutrients. By cultivating different plant species, from leafy greens to small fruits and herbs, crews can enjoy the variety in flavor, color, and texture, which naturally improves the nutrient balance and meal satisfaction. Food diversity also plays an important role in mental well being. When astronauts are isolated for months and years, something as simple as tasting a new flavor or eating a fresh herb can provide emotional relief and motivation. It also adds a sense of connection to the home. From sustainability perspective, growing multiple plant types ensures resilience. If one crop struggles in certain conditions, other can continue to thrive. This helps create a stable and self-sustaining food system that's better suited for long-term missions on the moon, Mars, and beyond. Ultimately, food diversity is not just about taste, it's about health, psychology, and adaptability. A varied diet keeps the crew nourished, satisfied, and emotionally connected, which are all key for mission success. Recycling. Plants are more than just oxygen producers. They are vital contributors to research recovery in space habitats. In enclosed environments where every molecule counts, plants form the biological core of sustainable life support. Through transpiration, plants release the water vapor into their surroundings. What's remarkable is that this vapor can be captured, condensed, and purified into clean, reusable water. In control systems, this process directly supports the closed loop water recovery setups, helping to recycle one of the most critical resources in space. Experiments have shown that transpiration water is exceptionally pure, containing only about zero point 0.3 to 6 parts per million of organic carbon. And that level of purity actually meets the hygiene quality standards for human use, which means plants are not just helping us breathe, they're also helping us reclaim the water naturally. In future Moon or Mars missions, large-scale plant systems could take on even greater role. They could absorb the carbon dioxide exhaled by the crew and release the oxygen through photosynthesis, creating a self-sustaining cycle for the air renewal. This natural exchange could significantly reduce the dependence on mechanical scrubbers or oxygen generators, lowering the maintenance needs and improving the overall system efficiency. By integrating the plant-based recycling with the engineered life support systems, we gain both technical reliability and biological resilience. Machines can filter and pump, but only living systems can adapt. So, in broader sense, when we grow plants beyond Earth, we are not just cultivating food or oxygen, we are nourishing a living ecosystem that regenerates air, water, and balance. It's a perfect example of how biology and technology can work together to sustain the human life in deeper space. Even in the harshest environments, life adapts, endures, and finds a way to bloom. And that's exactly the spirit we carry forward, not just to sustain the life in space, but to keep the human story growing wherever we go. Thank you all for listening.